I got into football because I worked for the Department of Health and Social Security in Newcastle, and I was asked to play in a charity women's football match, which I agreed to do because I used to play football as a child, obviously. The event actually turned out to be not against other ladies, it turned out to be against men, a pub team. And the idea was to raise some money, of which I don't know what the actual charity was for. However, during the game, at half-time, a lady approached me from the sidelines and asked did I play women's football and who I played for. I said, no, I didn't play football, apart from this one occasion. She then said to me, well, would you like to play women's football for a team? And I said, yeah, which team? She said, I organise a team and run a team in Wallsend called Wallsend Ladies. So obviously I thought, okay, we'll give it a try. So I just said, okay, at the end of the game, come and see me again and we'll chat. So at the end of the game, her and her husband, her name was Vera Eland and he was called George, which I found out a bit later on. They spoke to me about the women's team that they run. They didn't have a league to play in, however, they played organised friendly games against other teams within 50, 60 mile radius, i.e. Hull was the closest to us. I went down to train one evening, got the bus, because obviously I was 19 at the time, didn't have a car. Got the bus, went down, trained with them. To my surprise, there was about 15, 16 people there who all played football. Trained with them for about 6 months, and then Vera took me to one side and said, Liz, I would like you to go and trial yourself with the England team. And I said, which England team? She said, England women's team. I said, I didn't even know there was an England women's team, because even the girls who I met then never discussed any other teams, didn't really talk about women's football, spoke about Newcastle United and other teams like that, obviously, but never spoke about women's football. So I went for England trials in Birmingham. Nearly didn't quite get there. The minibus that we were in broke down. So we sat in a restaurant for 2 hours. We were saying, oh, let's just go home. Don't bother, let's just go home. There was 2 of us at the time who were getting trials. And Vera said, no, you definitely got to go. We're going to get there, it doesn't matter what it takes. We got there late, obviously, and did the England trials. And as a result of that, after a period of other little trials that we went through, I eventually was chosen to play for England. So my career started really right place, right time scenario. If I hadn't have played for that, my career probably would never have happened.
And what year was that?
The trials were in 74. So I'd been sort of like playing off and on. I went down, played a little bit, and then didn't play for a while, and then played. Other people didn't really think women could play football. And when they did see that women could play football, i.e. we had some skill, we just didn't run after the ball like idiots and just kick it anywhere, they realised that we could play football, so you got them a little bit more on board. But it took many, many years, as you can appreciate, to get the sort of level of enthusiasm that you get these days in women's football, where if you look in the stadia these days, there's many, many men who are watching women's football. There's probably just as many men as there is ladies. So at the time, yeah, when I first started, it was quite negative, quite derogatory at times as well. But you just got on with it, you know. You thought, okay, I'm not going to let anybody spoil my life. We played football because we enjoyed it, we loved it. We didn't get paid. We actually were usually out of pocket, because we would get expenses, but you didn't always get all the expenses, because the Women's FA was an organisation that wasn't funded. They had to find money themselves. So they gave us what they could give us. But today, obviously, there's a lot of sponsorship in football. But women's football had to start somewhere, and there had to be an organisation who would take that forward for these girls to get what they've got today. And I feel that I was part of that setup, which allowed the women's football of today to get the gifts, the rewards, the pleasures that they've got now.